Now, you said before that you stand in to get the party vote, but if you don't want people to vote for you and just for the party, who should they vote for in the election, in the electorate vote?
Oh, look, that's entirely up to individuals, but yeah, the way to get myself and a strong vote for ACT into Parliament is a party vote for ACT.
Because you're number 16 on the ACT party list, so the way polling is going at the moment, there's a reasonable chance that you could get in.
Absolutely, I'm very confident.
Yeah.
The ACT party is currently the fastest growing political movement in the country.
Yeah.
We are on a trajectory that looks very, very positive. 3 of the last 4 polls have all said we'll get at least 16 MPs into Parliament. And with the trajectory we're going at, I think it'll be 20 or 20 plus.
Wow. Yeah, because that sort of changes the whole thing, because it becomes more of a sort of co-government kind of thing with National rather than just being a junior party.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why we're standing. We want to see real change.
Yeah.
And, it's about delivering that. And, we will hold National to account.
Yeah.
We will make sure that they actually do what they say they're going to do and change Labor policies, because in the past they haven't done that.
Yeah.
And so, we'll do that, and we'll also point them in the direction of some other things that need to be done to improve New Zealand.
Yeah. Well, we'll get on to more of that, but big change for you if you do get in. I mean, suddenly you've got a young family and that, and down to Wellington for most of the week and that. Have you sort of factored all that in and ready for that?
Yeah, look, that was the toughest
Yeah.
decision when deciding to stand. I've got a wife of 20 years, Mel, and 3 beautiful daughters aged between 8 and 15.
Yeah.
And being away from them will be the toughest part.
Yeah.
But look, I'm really looking forward to the challenge,
Yeah.
and I have their support.
Yeah. Now, I understand that private polling has ACT in Tukituki at between 20 and 21%, which is actually quite massive compared to whatever has been in the past. If this translates to electorate votes, that could have an impact probably on the national candidate, Catherine Wedd, which could see Labour get an MP again. What do you say about all that?
Well, look, if you look at last election's polling, we actually had 70% of the people that voted Party Vote Act actually gave their vote to National for the electorate candidate. I don't think there's a deep concern about that. But look, the message I've got is you just need to give your party vote to ACT.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see if that actually happens. When you're down there, what would you see your main role as being if you get there in Parliament?
Oh, look, I would like to be involved in housing. We have a significant housing problem in New Zealand, and I understand it. I'm involved with a development at the moment where it's taken 18 months to get sign-off on the paperwork, and we've got 3 months of physical works for the subdivision. It's a simple subdivision. It shouldn't take 18 months to do the paperwork. So
this is council bureaucracy, and that's...
Absolutely, it's excessive. We can tackle that. Just if we were able to just reduce 12 months off that, it would be tens of thousands of dollars in just holding costs, saved off each of those section costs. That's real savings for everyday Kiwis. It's getting a reasonable supply of housing onto the market that is the problem at the moment, and it's holding values high. As a property valuer, I could see how problematic that was. We had values significantly above the cost of the inputs. So if you added the cost of land and the cost of improvements to the together, they were significantly lower than the cost of a newly built home. And that is a sign that something is a little bit broken in the supply chain.
Yeah.
So We need to free that up. The biggest impediment to that was the supply of land, not the supply of labour, and it certainly wasn't price gouging. I mean, there are areas where we can absolutely improve on that. But ultimately, we need to get the settings right in the RMA to tackle some of those problems.
Okay, well, that's quite interesting.